Alright guys, what's going on? I'm here to talk about Dr. Iron Fist and Dr. Steel Hammer Klitschko. So yeah, I want to talk about the Klitschko brothers, man. I just read an article saying that, you know, Vladimir is looking for an opponent for April 6th, and it looks like it might not be um, Alexander Povetkin for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just money issues. I don't know if if Klitschko's not really ready to make that fight yet. Here's the deal, man. The Klitschkos for years have gotten a big pass because of the lack of competition in their division. They've gotten a big pass, you know. People say you have to fight who's there, okay, and I get it. But at the end of the day, at this point, there are some names there. Now, are these names actually capable of beating the Klitschkos? I'm not really sure. But that being said, they're at least names, okay? And we had a division that was completely dead, a bunch of no names. I mean, let's look at Wladimir Klitschko's last three fights, okay? He fought Jean-Marc Mormet, Tony Thompson, and Marius Waugh. Okay, those are his last three fights. So is he gonna keep fighting those guys? Is he gonna keep fighting the Tony Thompsons and the Mormets of the world, or is he gonna go ahead and fight a guy like an Alexander Povetkin, who's big in Russia? The guy has a big name. Jury's still out on him, but he's got power and he's really high in the rankings. Why not fight him? Okay. So like I said, I mean, you guys finally have names out there for you to fight. You need to fight some of these guys. You know, just fight some of the names out there. Fight maybe a David Haye. You know, I know David Haye is one of those guys who, you know, he's just really not fighting a lot, man. He's really not fighting a lot, you know. As I look at his resume here, here's a guy who fought once in 2012. He beat Derek Chisora. Okay, that's a good win for him. But then he fought once in 2011, twice in 2010, and once in 2009. So as far as David Haye goes, I'm not even really sure if this dude's really even considered a boxer anymore. He's kind of just like entertainment at this point. Like, he needs to figure out whether he wants to be a celebrity or a boxer. So I'm going to need David Haye to actually get in there with some valid competition. And look, I think David Haye has skill. I think David Haye could probably beat damn near everybody in the heavyweight division not named Klitschko. So David Haye really needs to go ahead and put his skills on the line versus some of these contenders, man. Beat one of these contenders, you know, try to land a big fight with Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury was already talking smack about David Haye before. That would be a great fight. Maybe a Chris Arreola, just somebody in that division. Go ahead and fight them. And then go ahead and try to continue going after Vitali, you know, like you've been doing, seeing that you're just completely obsessed with the Klitschkos. And I know he wants to fight Vitali because Vitali didn't look that great versus Derek Chisora. So there's a lot of people who are really knocking on his door. The guy's 41. And there's a lot of people knocking on his doorstep because they know he didn't look that great versus Derek Chisora. And this is the time to fight Vitali Klitschko. I mean, Derek Chisora gave, you know, Klitschko a great fight. You know, let's be honest here. In my opinion, if he had any power, and he could have really won that fight if he had any power. But unfortunately for Chisora, he just doesn't have enough pop. But yeah, man, there's names out there for these guys to fight at this point. And like I said, these guys were given a pass for years because of the lack of competition. But there's a couple of guys out there. Just fight the names. You know, fight the names who were there. There's Kubrat Pulev. You know, he's building up a nice little name. You know, he's still got to build up his name a little bit more. I don't expect anybody to really get in there with him now because he's just so much of a high risk. But in a couple of years, he's going to be right there. Tyson Fury. I want to see Tyson Fury fight Vitali Klitschko. I'm not too high on Tyson Fury, but I mean, the guy is entertainment. And like I said, with Vitali slowing down, you know, you never know. He might be able to give him a competitive fight. Does he beat him? I wouldn't pick him to beat Vitali, but he could probably give him a good go. So, I mean, here are my thoughts, man. This is pretty much what my thoughts are on the heavyweight division, man. This year, for the Klitschkos, I'm going to need you guys to fight some of the names that are out there. You have to fight some of the names, man. I would think that you guys, after all these years of fighting these no-names, will be chomping at the bit to fight some of these guys who are building up names and coming up in this division. Okay, so if I see Vladimir looking like he's kind of sidestepping some of this young competition, then he's going to pretty much drop real low on my pound for pound, or I might have to just take him out. because if you're not fighting the guys who are in there, I have to call into question your resume. I have to call it into question now because, like I said, if you're not even fighting these guys who aren't even really spectacular fighters by any, I mean, let's just be honest. These guys aren't like, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. They're just good, solid heavyweights. So here, these guys have been compared to guys like Ali and the Tysons of the world for years. People have made dream matchups and did all that stuff like that. My question is, are you even going to fight the Povetkins of the world? All right, are you going to do it? So let's see what the Klitschkos do this year, man. I'm going to be keeping a real sharp eye on them. Vitali, yeah, I want to see you getting there with Tyson Fury. Getting there with a name too. Or David Haye. Go ahead and fight somebody. Or if not, you could pretty much retire, man. You pretty much had a long career, so I couldn't blame Vitali at this point for retiring. But Wladimir, you do need to step up and fight some of this competition. So those are my thoughts on the Klitschkos, man. You guys let me know what y'all think about this. What are some fights out there that you want to see in the heavyweight division? Peace.